In this video, we are discussing about the representation of the Turing missions. Turing missions can be represented in ID and transition diagram and transition table. What is an idea of the Turing mission? It's very simple. We will discuss in previous video definition of the Turing mission. Once we will discuss, this is the transition function. This is the present state. This is the input symbol, and this is the new state which is denoted by the q dash, and the step symbols and direction. This is the idea of the Turing mission. Let us discuss in detail about this idea of the Turing mission. This is the transition function. This is the current state. This is the input given to the state. This is the new state. When we apply input to this state, and what will be the new state? This is the new state, and this is the tape symbol, and the direction may be left or right. This is indicated by the left or right. Let us see an example. This is an initial state. This is an example. For this, Q0 is the current state. For this Q0, if we apply the input, if we apply input 0, this Q0 will remain in the same state, which is written as Q0 is the current state. What input is given? 0. Input 0 is given. Then it remains in the same state, means the new state is also Q0. Then it is represented with 0 is represented by 1. Then this is the tape symbol and the direction which moves in right direction. This is the ID for Q0. Next, we will write the same Q0. For this, input is 1. The state will remain in the same state, which is the same state Q0, and this 1 is replaced by 0. And in which direction? In right direction. Similarly, for this state Q1, which input is given? B, blank input is given. Then this, it remains in the same state Q1, and blank is replaced as blank and right direction. For this Q0, if we apply input as blank, then Q0 will changes to Q1. This is the new state, and blank will be replaced by blank, and direction is right direction. This is the idea of the Turing mission. Now discuss about the transition diagram. Second one is transition. This is the transition diagram. We simply represent as the Turing mission, which is represented by the transition diagram. Transition diagram consists of the states Q0 and Q1 are states. Q0 is the initial state, Q1 is the final state, and the input symbols are 0, 1, and the stack symbols are also 0, 1, and the input symbol is blank and the stack symbol is also blank. This is the transition diagram, representation of a tuning machine by this transition diagram. Now see the third one, transition tables. Based on this diagram, we draw a table is known as the transition table. Let us draw a table which is based on there are two states. State 1 is Q0 and state 2 is Q1. And how many input symbols? 0 and 1. And blank. And the tape symbols are also 0, 1 and blank. Let us consider this tape symbol as X. Tape symbols are also 0 and 1. For this transition diagram, when we apply Q0, when in on state Q0, if we apply 0 input, we will get this Q0, 1, R. On the state Q0, when we apply 1, then what we get? Q0, 0, R. On the Q0, when we apply blank, what we get? Q0, blank, we get Q1, B, R. Q1, blank, R. On the state Q1, when we apply 0, there is no input for apply this. When we apply for 1, there is no. When we apply blank, then Q1 on blank. Q1 on blank gives to, Q1 on blank gives you same Q1 state and blank and direction. This is the representation of the